What's up, Swing Trader Snacks here. We're going to do our watch list for October 2nd. And sorry for that quick little hiatus there the last couple days. Had some stuff with the family. Didn't quite have time to get around to shooting and editing these videos. But I'm back and things are all clear to get back to the daily schedule. So I want to do a little bit of market breadth, right? We've missed a little bit of things. I have taken some entries. I took 2 entries half size on Monday to put on 1 full unit. I wish I could have done more, but we had a government shutdown that we were going into this week, so we had to have a slight bit of caution. It'd be hard to make a case really either way for where we're going to go off of this shutdown. Typically, we do end up higher, after 30, 90 days. After the last 10, 30 days, I think we're up 6% on average, and after 90 days, we're up over 9%. Over 10% on average. So, any dips I would look at as opportunities, but what I really actually do want to talk about is this dip that we were calling for the last few weeks in these watch list videos, if you guys have been hanging out. As we got extended coming out of the Fed meeting, I was really pretty cautious, didn't put on any positions, took profits in a couple right before the meeting, and after the meeting I was saying, hey, look, I'm going to pump the brakes. I did position into a couple longer term ideas. But as far as the triple R setup and our continuation patterns, I said, look, I'm demanding a pullback, right? We were just getting really extended, and we got it. And the other thing we were saying is when we do get that pullback, we're going to look very closely at market breadth, okay, and look to remount the short-term moving average, the 9, essentially a triple R trigger on the indices. And when we get this, as I was saying, that most of our watch list would be firing off. And that is exactly what happened. If you go back to Monday's watch list, I was pretty excited, and it was a pretty long watch list. I think there was over 20 names, and most of those have triggered, and a lot of them are quite close or into profits already. Okay, if you don't know, I like to trade the leaders in a trend backed by growing fundamentals. We'll take a look here at the first one that comes up, and what I like is for them to be in a trend, right, backed by growing fundamentals, and I like them to retrace, react at or around our level, and remount our short term. And that is our trigger for the bread and butter triple R setup. And I've got multiple other continuation patterns as well, but that is the bread and butter right there, right? So we look for a retracement, reaction at or around our level, and a remount of the short term, and we look to play towards recent or new highs for a 2R, and this hits at well over 70%, okay? When you align it with market breadth, that is key. So that is something I like to cover quite often here. At the beginning of every video is at least a quick touch on market breadth. So that's what we wanted, guys. We wanted a pullback and to get back onto trend, and we got that, and we got some continuation on Monday and took some trades. I took TEM. Okay, so we get a retracement, reaction at around our level, and a remount of the 9 got us into TEM. And this is also a shake and go pattern, which is another one of my models where you get a breakout, fake out, shake out, okay, and then we remount the trend and look to maybe put in the real move that was coming. But, it looks like they shook everyone out, and a lot of times you'll see the real move happen after they have done so. And the other position is snow. Got into snow on Monday as well. So both of those are looking good, especially if we clear range here on snow. We should have a good trade-off there. So guys, let's go ahead and jump into today's watch list. There are still plenty of triple R setting up out there. We'll start with MP. Get a retracement, reaction at around our levels, and a remount of the 9 here. This is one where, over the 9 is a trigger, right? Maybe you got to swing the bat on, but this is also possibly a double top, right? So certainly do want to, as always, we wait for confirmation. OKLO is one that, sure, I hear the argument that it should not be where it is based on valuation, based on the fact that they don't have any customers, clients, revenue, any of it. This is wild. This is purely speculative. But guys, don't fight the trend. Don't fight the market. Okay, this is the first pullback off of the breakout ripper, right? If they get this thing going again back over the 9, they might squeeze it. All right, it's a trigger. FUTU is one we've been watching for a while, and I think it's still holding this 50 pretty well. I would say clearing Monday, Tuesday's range right up here, basically where it's opening today, could be a trigger. And guys, come hang out with me in Bootcamp if you would like to know my 6 models and how I enter intraday, right? Because it's pretty tough when there's 15 things firing off at one. Like, how do you pick one, or what do you look for to enter? These are things we cover pretty often. I've begun filming every trade that I take, and you get access to all of that, plus me personally one-on-one back and forth for at least 60 days. 60 days, but look, if you apply yourself and you want to hang out, that's really why I'm doing this. Is I want to build my inner circle. I want to teach people to look at the markets the way that I do. It's really very simple, but having someone like me to lean over your shoulder and teach you the models and risk management and really allow you to get some traction in these markets. It's a hell of a deal, guys. So check out the link below. Come join me and I will show you how to trade these models. I'm back over 180% on the year, guys. This stuff works and we're not going to stop doing it anytime soon. So come join that boot camp and I'll give you an edge you can leverage for the rest of your life. IONQ, another one that ripped, right? Another one that guys are saying, hey, blah, 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 quantum, this is crazy. Yeah, sure it is, but it's going on volume, and this is our first pullback. A remount to the 9 on IONQ is a trigger. CRDO. Guys, when I say is a trigger, there's nuance to this stuff. Again, come to Bootcamp and I'll teach you and show you what that nuance is. But you need to align it with market strength, right? Like intraday, SPY, RSP, IWM, sector strength, right? You got to be able to look under the hood as you're taking a position. But these are things that are setting up. And when I say trigger means you need to go look at it and decide whether or not to enter based on those other things. Breadth, sector strength, under the hood, what's going on in the market, right? Find your intraday entry, right, based off of strength. I like to do red to greens. I like to do, if we get a push out of the gate, I like to let it pull back and show me strength, hold and push higher, essentially a triple R intraday on the 5-minute chart, stuff like that. Guys, again, come hang out in Bootcamp and I'll teach you exactly when and why I enter. CRDO is a leader in a trend backed by some of the best growing fundamentals in the market. I think it might be the highest growing revenue. This thing is great company, right? In a trend, respecting structure, getting a pullback reaction at or around our level back over the 9. Guys, look at how many times this has worked on CRDO in this push. Okay, you had one here, 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 and it's giving us another. And we are, I've taken 2 on this guy. One of them I had to get right out of because I didn't realize earning. I took this trade right here and I just didn't realize that earnings was a few days away, and it just wasn't the risk parameters that I entered on, the thesis that I entered on, so I just got out. I made some money on the trade, but I didn't realize my full profit potential, which I would have before earnings, but I respect my risk. I control my risk. Okay, the market does not control my risk. I do. So it didn't fit the profile the way I intended, so I got out. All right, and I found other ones that worked. I took OKLO right before that big ripper. I did not get the full move. I took profit at my target levels. It is what it is. Pay the trader. Yeah, that one kind of sucked a little bit. I'm not going to lie, man. It just a day or two after I took my profits, it absolutely ripped. I've got to do my data at the end of the year, as I always do, but the triple R, my bread and butter, the thing I trade the most is a 2R model, and I'm pretty certain that my data this year is going to tell me to switch that to a 3R model because we're getting it far more often than not. So that's going to be killer next year. We're going to do over 200% this year. Account gain, we're going to triple the account this year. And then I'm going to probably switch my bread and butter model to a 3R next year. I'm excited, guys. Come join me. All right, and we've got ALAB, another one, giving us a pretty decent pullback off of high. And this is a level, this little gold zone that I put in. It's just so perfect, right? It aligned with where I put this in a few days ago. I figured the 50 would catch up, and it did. This is beautiful, guys. Back over the 9. You got to take ALAB. Got to take that swing. AMD is one we've been looking to get over the 50. It's close. Looks like it's going to gap up over it. On a gap up over it, how would I enter that? I would not just buy the gap up, okay? If it gaps up and rips, sometimes you just let it go. There's 14 other names we're looking at, okay? It's all good. I don't chase. If it gaps up and rips, maybe we have to let it go, or possibly it could pull back and show strength and then start to push back towards high. Or I would really like to see like if it gaps up, a soft open. So gap up and sell off and then go red to green on the day's open price. That could certainly get me in as well. SOFI is one that we are looking at an IPO cycle on. Okay, and I really like when they break out of the IPO cycle and pull back in and show strength. It's basically a shake and go, right? So it breaks out, kind of a fake out, shake out, pulls right back into structure. Guys, this is clean as fuck. All right, I gotta say it, right? This is super clean. Guys, if it reacts at around our level and gets back over the 9, you got to take this thinking that there's likely a much bigger move. IPO cycle is another one of my models. Come Come check it out in Bootcamp, guys. I'm telling you, this stuff prints. Net is another one, sort of flirting with that all-time high level, just like it's not exactly an IPO cycle, but anyways, it is flirting with all-time highs. I like that it's getting a little bit shaky and sort of loading up. I think through the 9, you got to take this thing, guys, and looks like that may happen today. AVGO. This is not investment advice. This is ideas. This is educational purposes. Modest start to this channel, but I don't know where it's going to go. I don't want people coming after me. I guess I should maybe start saying that, right? This is me looking. I really am doing these watch lists for me first. Okay, yeah, and then Bootcamp, I got my guys in Bootcamp right now. You guys are watching these things, okay? And then also as this channel grows, it seems like there's some interest in the way that I look at the markets, and I think there should be because there's clearly an edge here, okay? And we've got AVGO, look, retracement, reaction at or under a level, and a remount of the 9 should get us going here on AVGO ELF. Same look, okay? Retracement, reaction at or under a level, remount of the 9 on ELF looks good. Oracle, same thing. All right, I'm gonna stop repeating myself and just flip through these last ones. Remount of the 9 looks good on Oracle. MP we already did. RKLB. Yep. This I'd say through yesterday's high, so it looks like it triggered. Let's see how that price action looks yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday was would have been an okay entry, and it did hold up for you, but I think a second chance at an entry here would maybe be clearing yesterday's high. But technically yesterday was your entry. And we've got AMSC. This is one I'd like to get into. But yeah, guys, I think clearing through, again, I guess yesterday was kind of the entry. Maybe you might want to wait for it to clear this range. Would be the safer trade. Yeah, and then I don't think you need to go swing low on a stop for something like that. I would say maybe even just the low of current range, like the last few day range, and then just bust off your 2 to 1 on that. Yeah, that looks like a decent trade to me there. Not my favorite. There's some better stuff. VST looks pretty good. Another one that's flirting around those all-time high levels. All right, and we're getting a bit of a shake and possibly a go. Okay, so we get a breakout, fake out, shake out, and we're getting reaction at around our level. Remount of the 9. This could be the real move. We'll have to see. AMZN is one that I am also looking to get into. All right, Amazon is quite attractive to me, and one that we have been looking at here for a while, getting a reaction off of the 200, but I will require this remounts the 50. Okay, it's got to get all the way up over that before I get in. And Nail is the last one here today. Housing, look at all this good accumulation here, getting back over the 200. Nice tight pullback to the 200, reacting off of it. Guys, over the 50 today. This is high up on my list. I've been watching this for quite a while on this pullback. This accumulation here was attractive, and now continuing to hold structure, right, and pushing back up. So this would suggest additional positioning off of that 200. Back over the 50, you got to swing the bat. All right, guys, that's it. Control yourself, manage risk. Let's go make some money. I'll see you soon.